Hello, dear friends, fellow workers of the light, fellow earth angels. I am Juli Joy, your servant of the light, with another message from Anne and the angels for April 10th, 2021. And they begin as always, my dear friends, we love you so very much. Upon your earth there is an unprecedented flow of love, creating movement and change. You have collectively called for it. In the confinement of quarantine, you longed for freedom. In months of separation, you cried for connection. Watching the horrors of racism, you prayed for unity. Going within and creating better futures in your inner world, your desires were prayers, a call to the heavens for support. Unlike any time ever before in human history, love is flowing to you, through you, and when permitted, from you. Love is flowing into a world that is ready to rebirth itself into a brighter, greater, grander, more glorious, kinder, unified, creative future. You are the ones creating this change by your willingness to dream it. You are the ones allowing for it by your willingness to tune yourself to the frequency of love. You start with love and kindness for yourselves, and then you spiral outward, expressing your love for the world according to the dictates of your own divine inspiration. As you move forward, it is good to understand that the greater the flow of love, the greater the magnitude of your feelings, both positive and negative. If you watch a physical river, there is little disturbance when a gentle flow reaches a boulder in its path. However, a rushing river suddenly creates massive gurgling and bubbling, frothy waves when its powerful current runs into a boulder. So too, in a greater flow of love, you notice your own boulders of resistance ever so much more strongly. Your feelings are perfect indicators as to whether or not you are allowing or resisting the flow of love through the universe and through yourself. When you allow love to flow to you and through you, you feel bliss. In resistance, you feel pain. Most of you feel varying degrees in between, with occasional peaks on both ends of the spectrum. For example, when you are immersed in the present moment, genuinely enjoying and appreciating what is in front of you and not thinking any thoughts that would block the rushing torrent of love, you can feel a bliss that was once accessible only to those who work diligently on their spiritual practice and meditation for decades. Many of you will find yourself seeing energy, perceiving spirit more clearly, and being bombarded by inspired thoughts that guide you to your dreams. These are the moments, dear ones, when you have no resistance whatsoever to the flow of love. These are your moments of heaven on earth. When you experience, as so many of you are, what we call emotional eruptions or sudden outbursts of intense negative emotion, this is simply an indicator that you have run up against a pocket of your own resistance to the flow of love. Perhaps you're focusing on something that bothers you rather than something that pleases you. Perhaps you're trying to push yourself to feel a certain way or do something that someone else says you should do, but you don't feel this way. Perhaps you need rest, food, or recreation, but you've been ignoring your own needs. Perhaps you're judging yourself or another or trying to impose your will on another. In any of these cases, you're resisting the natural flow towards greater love and joy. These behaviors and thought patterns are taught, conditioned, humanly accepted, and understandable, but the bottom line is that resisting love's flow doesn't make you happy. In fact, resistance to love's flow is at the root of all human pain and suffering. Sometimes you can begin to shift out of this resistance easily. You can take a breath and imagine you're breathing in light, love, and goodness. You can breathe out and imagine sending love out into the world. Sometimes it is truly that simple to return to the flow of love. In this very natural rhythm of breathing, of giving and receiving, you can easily return to its flow. If you hold your breath, however, you start to feel a craving for air. Your body tightens. The circulation of nutrients, waste removal, and nerve signals is diminished. Likewise, if you refuse to exhale, you would want to burst. Similarly, if you don't shift your focus to take in a vibration of love offered to you in each moment, you crave love in ever-increasing measure. If you don't flow love outward in some form on a regular basis, you will feel like you want to burst. We're not saying you have to like everything. We're not saying you have to receive human love from everything or everyone, or even flow love outwards to everything and everybody at all times. This would be an ideal state, and while it is a lofty goal, we simply are reminding you that you can re-enter the flow of love much more easily, no matter what is going on around you. Find an easy way to take in love, even if you simply focus on a single pleasing thought. Find an easy way to flow outward, if only by praying or appreciating anything or anyone in your life, especially yourself. The object of your attention matters far less than finding the feeling and flow of love. This is an extremely different paradigm from the one most of you learned, and a critical understanding to help you navigate 5D reality with joy. We say it again, the object of your attention matters far less than finding the feeling and flow of love. Your objects of attention simply help you tune your energy. You can focus with internal or external attention on anything that pleases you and begin to experience the flow once more. You can allow love to flow to you by taking in the beauty of a single wild flower, a single beautiful thought, a wonderful song, a joyful video, a delicious meal, a kind thought, anything that plugs you into feeling love and enjoying the moment. Breathe that in. You can flow love outward by appreciating a beautiful color, sharing a kindness with someone, praying for anything or anyone, simply sitting and imagining light filling you and emanating from you in a silent presence. You can do good deeds. Think kind thoughts and allow yourself to be a beacon. You can flow love first and foremost by being kind to yourself. Breathe out. Opening to a small flow leads to a larger flow if you are willing to continue in this fashion, reaching for a focus that feels more like love. As you continue to open and release areas of resistance to love, simply by shifting your focus, you will soon tune to a more blissful feeling space. We know there are times, especially during periods of emotional eruption, when you feel it is nearly impossible to re-enter the flow of love by finding a single pleasing thought. When someone triggers your pain, when life seems unfair, when you have focused too long on something upsetting, in these cases it can feel as if you are possessed by the very thing you do not want to see. These intensely unpleasant emotions arise from feeling disconnected from the flow of love. In these cases, you have become temporarily obsessively entangled with your focus on a negative object of attention and have therefore removed your focus from the multitude of things, people, situations, and inner conditions that would assist you in finding the feeling and flow of love. It is oh so human to blame the triggers of your eruptions. If only she, he, it would be different, you'd feel better. That may be very true, but in assigning blame rather than re-entering the flow of love, you render yourself entirely spiritually powerless. It doesn't matter if what upsets you is a person, a situation, a Republican, a Democrat, a vaccine, an uninvited person, one masked or unmasked, a rotten piece of fruit or a rotten behavior, a traffic jam, a horribly abusive people, or any one of millions of displeasing connections. We speak plainly here because we want to help you reclaim your power to feel joy. We want you to know your power, to focus on a kinder feeling thought, and thus to disentangle yourself from vibrations that do not please you. We want to support you in your soul's bliss, your unfolding desires, and in living, breathing, and contributing to the flow of love. In this flow of love, you are aligned with nothing less than the Creator of worlds. You can become the change for the world. You become powerful creators. You become effective communicators. You become part of the solutions instead of vibrationally reinforcing the problems. We know this isn't easy. There is plenty going on in the world to upset you right now, and many practice negative emotions. She has written in parentheses, but not socially acceptable, SOUL. Many of you have been asking us in your heart, what do I do when I experience an emotional eruption and I can't find a better feeling thought? What do I do when I feel stuck in negativity? What do I do when my ex-mother, father, brother, sister, boss, child is being so terrible I can't focus on any of the good people in my life? What do I do when I worry night and day about the country, the economy, my health, death, etc.? What do I do when I get stuck on a focus that feels terrible? And they reply, in these cases, dear ones, you can gently begin to release your resistance to love's flow by first being kind to yourself. Make the choice to accept yourself where you are and love yourself through it. There's no need to berate yourself. There's no need to criticize yourself because you're a spiritual person who should know better. There's no need to beat yourself up because you can't find a single positive thought in the moment. You could only calm a screaming or crying child with distraction, or that failing by soothing them until the emotion dissipates. When in an eruptive emotional state, you must grant yourself the same accepting, allowing kindness. Practically speaking, love yourself enough to allow the unpleasant feelings to flow through you in the healthiest and most responsible way that you can, and they will dissipate. Say to yourself, well, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm jealous, that's where I'm at, and that's okay for now. Then vent in private, in a journal, to God or your angels. Wrap a cozy blanket around yourself and cry the tears without judgment. Immerse yourself in your jealousy and journal it until you wear it out and realize you don't want to feel powerless. Breathe deeply. Allow the unhappy energy to move and simply observe it flowing as if you were watching debris that was deeply lodged within you float up and out. There will often be nuggets of loving gold once the intensity of the negative emotion dissipates. Under your sadness comes a desire for comfort and kindness. Under your anger becomes a desire for more balance or to move away from non-resonant conditions or beliefs. Underneath your jealousy is a desire to embrace your power to create. As soon as you are able, gently steer your mind towards better feeling thoughts. Gently release your resistance to love. Say to yourself, I'm proud of myself, and allow myself to feel, and it didn't kill me. That was brilliant to just feel and observe rather than react in a harmful way. I love myself no matter what. I accept myself no matter what. Strong feelings won't kill me. Better out than in. I love myself. I have compassion for myself. I feel better now. I'm going to create more comfort, to move closer towards what resonates and away from what doesn't. I'm going to learn to create. I'm no longer resisting love. Then they finish up by saying, hug yourself, get yourself a glass of water and imagine filling it with love. And then drink it. Then open to love's flow. Imagine opening your heart like a flower to the sun. Breathe slowly and deeply with each in-breath. Imagine that flow of love pouring into you and through you. If you continue in this fashion, you may fall asleep. You may still have resistance and want to retreat back into upset. You may want to distract. Do your best to sit, breathe, open, breathe, and receive. You want to feel better. You want to be happy. You want to be loved. There are no wrong feelings, dear friends. Your feelings simply indicate whether or not you are allowing or resisting love. They tell you what vibration you are currently tuned to, so you can choose whether or not that is the magnet with which you want to attract or allow your future. There is no judgment from the heavens in this conversation. Resisting love does not diminish who you are in any way. It simply diminishes your experience of who you truly are. In this very intense and beautiful flow of love, be kind and gentle with yourselves. Embrace yourselves where you are. Don't push yourselves or feel what you do not. Don't run from your feelings. When you can, gently shift to better feeling thoughts. When you are in the midst of emotional eruptions, just observe the debris flowing through you in a kind and healthy way until the love inevitably follows. You are birthing yourselves anew. Your earth is birthing herself anew. Love is being birthed in a massive, rushing flow right now. Enjoy the process. You are freeing yourselves from eons worth of conditioned resistance to love. You are freeing yourselves to see, be, experience, and express the love that you are made of. God bless you. We love you so very much. Signed, the Angels. This was channeled by Ann Albers. Her website is visionsofheaven.com. Normally, I would place the script below in the More About column, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to do that today. You can always find Anna Albers' lovely, enlightening messages on the Sananda website or voyagesoflight.blogspot.com. Thank you, folks, for listening to this inspiring, albeit lengthy, message from the Angels for April 10th. God bless you.